Last night the guys managed to clear up a field of hay, a bit unexpected, bit last minute, but we got her done. Apparently old Cole had a problem with his baler, and that's why we had 3 balers there in the end. Farmer wanted to make sure it came in. Cole figured it out in the end. I think there was a bit of hay stuck in one of the parts of the baler. I'll show you it because it's quite interesting, and some of you might have had the problem before, so later on I will show you that, because some of you might find that a bit interesting. Some of you will probably know what it is, but Colin's baler was throwing loose strings after loose strings. The farmer has actually been talking about it quite recently, so it's quite interesting actually. So I'll show you that on another day. The day always starts off with tedding, greasing machines. Me and Keithy just done a hay delivery just to help Lynn catch up on some of the hay deliveries. Looks like it's going to be a fair day today, cloudy day tomorrow, and we've got enough to keep us busy for today and tomorrow. So we want to have this cleared up because there's rain coming at the weekend, so we've got to have this cleared up. It has already took a shower on it already, so it's not its very best, but it's still plenty good enough for small bales. So that's the plan for today. I think farmer's going to have Edward in to bale his own field. There's one field there that Edward can go and row and bale himself, and he's going to send our 2 small balers to one of the other fields. And then there's a couple of fields that were cut later. One of them will most likely go, the other one probably won't, but it won't be later till we get to those anyway. When we get to the field, we'll look at the hay, see what sort of condition it's in. Yesterday it was quite damp, and well, it was the wrong side of damp, it was near on wet. So we'll see what that's like when we get there. So we're back at the hay field. We're going to jump out the tractor in a second, see what the hay's like. I can tell you it already looks pretty good. The sun's on it. Always different when you get the sun on it. Always easier day. Everything dries quicker, you know, blah blah blah. Get a bit of wind and sun and you're laughing, you know, it dries quick then. But yeah, so yesterday that upset the workings a little bit, because we were hoping to have these baled up yesterday, but oh hey Nado, where's it going, where's it going? Gotta go and try and get in it, haven't we? Oh, that's it. That's as quick, and that's the first one I've actually seen this season. I love those things. Such a child. Right, anyway, yeah, so it got rained on, and it went through the hay actually, so this stuff's been rained on once. It's still going to go in small bales. It hasn't hurt the quality too bad. If it would have took another rain on it, we would have just had to round bale it all, but this is the thickest field out the lot. Bit of a mixed field, this one. There's good hay in it, and there's also some rushes and some docks in here as well, so a bit of a mixed field. We're just going to jump off and have a little quick look here. I want to just get in these thick bits. That's it. That'll be fine. Much better than yesterday. Yesterday it was plenty damp underneath. This is much better. By the time they get here, they will be here with the balers in a couple of hours. By the time we've fluffed it up, the sun's got in it, and the wind's got through it a little bit, that'll be plenty ready. We always ted before haymaking every time. Just makes baling a little bit easier, makes everything go a little bit smoother. We're heading out the field, and Uncle Franklin is heading in the field, and everybody else will be they won't be long far behind. So this is a horrible little field, but nonetheless it's got to be cleared up. Got the rake set pretty nice, I can see. Uncle Franklin have his work cut out for him today. He'll be rowing up for the small balers and the round baler, so he won't have a quiet day today, but we'll give him the old thumbs up. I don't know if you can see me. Alright, and we'll see him later on. Alright, this is what you get underneath the trees. You don't want any of this stuff in your bales, really, especially a small baler. Some of these could do some damage. I'm not saying they would, but I think farmer said they once had only a small bit of wood get jammed in, and that I can't remember what he said, whether it wrote the baler off or it did some damage to the baler. They want to be put in there with their friends. But I've already been through this once and pulled a load out. They look terrible in a bale as well, so you'll never get them all, because you will never see them all though. But you want to get the bigger ones, like those. By some miracle, Colin's pulled in. That end gets screwed into that end. First breakdown, well, not really a breakdown, just got to screw it back in. But you got to lift this end up, which is hellishly heavy, and then Carl screwed that back in for me. But that's the first thing that's gone wrong with this tether. And sod's law, it's always when you really don't want it to happen. Some gloves so you don't get greasy.
Well, that happens.
Are you ready, sir? Ah, Jesus Christ.
You alright going that end?
Yeah. I imagined it's buffed the edges out a bit, innit?
Didn't do the threads much good of right on the end, did it?
No.
It's going in.
Better check the other side as well, hadn't I?
Yeah, do them up. That's something else you're going to learn to check now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should hold it if you want to let it go.
See how tight it goes when I'll go bloody tight, I bet. Alright. Oh, good man.
Ain't got exactly the right top.
I'm guessing that's got to be up to where the nut is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Let me check that other side. You turned up at just the right time. Ah, this side's alright.
I ain't going mad with this because the
No.
spanner don't fit very well.
No, that's alright, that'll be fine. Thank you, sir.
You got some more to set out then?
Yeah, I need to go through. There's some bloody green wet clumps in here still.
Want to keep spanner?
No, that'll be alright. I trust that'll do the job.
I'm up there if you need the spanner.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. I just needed a man on the end of here. That was what I needed the most. And a spanner as well, which you had both. So, thank you, sir. Lovely job. First little breakdown, nothing major. Unfortunately, that wasn't a major thing. I was just folding it up, and I heard a bit of a clang. So straight away, you know that's not right, and you got to investigate then. And that's what it turned out to be. So that has obviously slowly been undoing. Every time you unloose, every time you fold up, it becomes loose. So it's been working its way for a while. So that was a good spot. Luckily Colin had the right spanner for it as well, so no harm, no foul. Colin was there at the right time. That just worked a dream. Never usually works like that. Usually miles away from anywhere with no tools and no people. But that was a good one. Easy fix as well. I think Linda's been having some tractor trouble, and Barry had some tractor trouble this morning. Looks like the hire trailer turned up. We absolutely love these trailers. If we could have one, oh man, they're bloody overkill for what they are, but Christ almighty, they just done really well. They're on I think it's on air. This one looks in better nick than the one we had before. Hell of a thing. They're yeah, 14 tonner. We don't need nothing bigger than that. You go up to 16 ton and yeah, you start, it becomes bloody handful on the road. But 14 ton is what we usually have. Hydraulic back door, they lock down as well, so you can't, till you've tipped her up a bit, you can't open the door, which is a good feature because, believe it or not, there has been one or two mistakes where They've opened the door before they got to where they were going. On air as well, so we'll plug that into rescue one. The air brakes are beautiful on these. They're load sensing, so you know when they're empty, they're not so savage. We'll start loading some trailers now. I think Keithy will start loading some. We'll start running some trailers. Young Jordan and David, I'm sure, will show up at some point. And we'll get these bales home. Right, so Keith's back at the yard unloading a few trailers for us so we can get going again. I've got a trailer we can take. The old man's gone to load some at one location, and then Keith's gonna go and load some at the other location. We've got 2 locations of hay down, so they're gonna have loaders everywhere, and we're gonna split the I will go and help the old man. Look at that, 3 packs in one go. They come off the trailers crazy like that. They're nice bales, really nice bales, and they've got a nice colour to them as well, so we're quite impressed with them. They will most likely have to be blown for a day or 2 just to keep them right, but yeah, from a week with uncertain weather to a week with bales coming in, it ain't bad at all. I'm actually really surprised in how they look on the trailer, so that's good. The old man's over there. He's got a he can't sling the straps over anymore. I haven't quite let go of this yet. There we go. So what he does, he lays the strap out, he puts a pack over the back, lays the strap on top, and then lifts it all up with a loader, and then he takes great glee in telling you there's more than one way to skin a cat, he says, every time. He wants to leave that for me, really. But you won't be able to tell him. So me and the old man are going to get this lot cleared up. There'll be that trailer and probably a small one. Got some round ones here as well. That field wasn't quite as good, but good enough for round ones. There'll be some nice round bales in there. You can see the rain's just turned them slightly on the brown colour this lot, but still good enough to take out, still good enough to feed something. Plenty good enough. Any more rain on them though would have turned them pretty, you know, that would have turned them bad, but alright. What are you up to? He will tell you that you don't need no straps. You just have to ignore him and put your own straps on. Back in the day they didn't used to strap anything. And he likes to remind you of it. Well, I'll tell you what. Plenty good enough. Oh, I'm going to have to eat my words. That's better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it'd have the smell that has. Now, the smell, the only way I can describe the smell to you is like if you walk into a bakery that's got fresh cooked bread, it's that, but it's grass. It smells beautiful. Lights and brakes. Farmer's just unloading some. We got this. It's a grab that picks up 3 at a time. When we're in full swing and we got trailers coming back left, right, and centre, farmer can have one of them. Can have 500 off a trailer like that. 490 on a trailer like that. He can have that off. I kid you not. Less than 10 minutes. And that's stacked in the shed. That's not picked off and put down, that's stacked in the shed ready for the next trailer. We're going to run up. Keithy's young lad Dave's here, so we've got plenty of staff on today, so we won't be that busy this afternoon. A couple of trailers each and we'll all be done. Farmer loads them into the shed. Shed's getting pretty full now. We'll get the fan on this a little hole in the middle. There'll be a hole that runs that way and a hole that runs that way, and then we'll put the fan on the end, start blowing in, and that just takes any heat out of the bales, any sun heat. Wanted me to pull that forward a bit, didn't he? Too late now. Make it work. There we go, look. Uh-oh, something bad's gonna happen. Re-grab them. By the time I'm filming, he drops some more on the floor. Oh, lovely colour. There we go, it's that simple. Just have a little smell. You can smell it from here. It smells insane. Worth having a bit of a punt on. The weather hasn't been playing ball, but you just got to take your chances when you can. So here comes another 3, look. There we go. I'm going to move this trailer forward so he's got a bit of room to play with. Then we'll head up the field and see if they're still baling. And yeah, and then tomorrow we just got one field to go at outside the front of Astley Bridge there. Come on, Dave. Come on. There goes Dave. I think we missed it all. All the machines have come past. So I think we missed it all today, but tomorrow's another day. There isn't going to be a massive amount tomorrow, and that's if it'll go, because it is. I teed through the field that's left, and yeah, it's one of those. Like I just wasn't sure. We'll see tomorrow. We just got to look at it tomorrow, decide that from there what we're going to do with it. Because if it's still, it was still quite green. We'll see. We'll just look at it tomorrow. No point just trying to decide now. Keithy's got a trailer with him. I think this will do it. I don't think we'll need another trailer. It's weird. Those windows look very strangely.
I know, I've nearly put my head through them so many times.
Ever so clean. It's as if somebody took a little bit of time, get them.
Polished it. The old man, I'll drive up with the window open.
That's what he usually does, doesn't he?
Shiny,
shiny headlights. Huh?
All dirty down here.
What?
Look.
I only just done that.
Yeah, all the side out there, look.
Oh. Yeah,
the top of the boom's all dirty, look.
Yeah.
Top of the boom's dirty.
Half a job, eh?
Watch them wires.
Yeah, I'll pull it. I'll get over there for you. Always got to be cautious of these wires. So whenever you're pulling loads in a field, you want to be as not far away as possible, but you want to be. You don't want to be underneath them. That's for sure. I don't know who it was, but Farmer told me a story the other day of a man who was in a loader, working in a loader, and put his boom up in the air, touched the wires, and it threw the switch on the wires there, and he managed to get out of the cab. And then the silly sod bloody he tried to get back in the cab, but he didn't realise that these things, they trip, I don't know how many times, 3 times before they blow the fuse, and someone has to actually come out and look at it. So you earth it, it'll blow the fuse, and then 7 seconds later it will try and attempt to turn itself back on, and the old boy tried to get back in the cab as it did it, and it killed him. So you have got to be careful. There's I think there's 44,000 volts running through those lines, so yeah, got to be careful. Probably going to be our last load for the night, I'd imagine. Nice early one, but we've got a little bit to go up tomorrow, so we'll finish the video up tomorrow, see what tomorrow brings. Where the wooded area is, there's a natural shade that comes onto the field, so these areas end up being a little bit behind the rest of the field. So what we'll quite often do is just round bale them, as you can see. They'll be fine in a round bale. They might sweat a little bit, they might heat up a tiny bit, but they will be fine, and they'll still they still make plenty good hay. It's just a way of dealing with stuff that isn't quite the same as everything else. So anyway, we're going to get this load home. I think young Dave and Jordan will finish up the loads here, and we'll be good.